Dragon Ball Z, Bedtime Story, Part 1, The Arrival of Raditz. 5 years had passed since Goku's victory over Piccolo Jr. and his marriage to Chi-Chi. In that time, Goku had settled down into a quiet life in the mountains with his family. He and Chi-Chi had a son, Gohan, who was now 4 years old. Though Gohan showed great potential, Chi-Chi was determined to give him a strong education, while Goku, always eager for adventure, occasionally tried to teach him martial arts in secret. One sunny day, Goku and Gohan were preparing to visit Master Roshi's island, where Goku planned to introduce Gohan to his old friends, Krillin, Bulma, and the others. Gohan, wearing a hat adorned with the 4-star Dragon Ball, was excited to meet his father's friends, although he was shy and much more timid than Goku had been at his age. But while Goku's life seemed peaceful, far away in the depths of space, something ominous was happening. A mysterious figure was approaching Earth, traveling in a space pod at incredible speed. This man, clad in Sayan armor, had long wild hair and a scouter over his eye. His name was Raditz, and he was looking for someone, his long-lost brother, Kakarot. Part 2. Raditz arrives on Earth. Raditz's space pod crashed onto Earth in a remote area, creating a massive crater. As he stepped out of the pod, he scanned the planet's surface with his scouter, searching for a specific power level. "I know you're here, Kakarot," Raditz muttered to himself. "You were sent to this planet for a reason. Why haven't you completed your mission?" Raditz's scouter picked up a strong power level in the distance. He smirked and took to the sky, heading directly for the source of the power. Little did he know, the person he was looking for had no memory of his Saiyan origins or the mission he was supposed to carry out. Part 3. Goku and Gohan visit Master Roshi. Meanwhile, Goku and Gohan arrived at Kame House, where they were greeted by Master Roshi, Krillin, and Bulma. It had been a long time since Goku had seen his friends, and they were surprised to see how much he had changed. "You're a father now, Goku," Krillin said with a grin. "I never thought I'd see the day." Goku laughed. "Yeah, this is Gohan. He's a little shy, but I think he'll warm up to you guys." Gohan, hiding behind Goku's leg, peeked out at Krillin and the others. He was curious but nervous about meeting so many new people. Bulma knelt down and smiled warmly at Gohan. "He's adorable," Bulma said. "But he's not like you were at his age, Goku. He's so well behaved." As they chatted and caught up, none of them were aware that danger was approaching. The peaceful reunion was about to be interrupted by the arrival of Raditz. Part 4. Raditz confronts Goku. Suddenly, a powerful gust of wind blew across the island, and the group looked up to see a figure descending from the sky. Raditz landed in front of them, his arms crossed and a menacing expression on his face. "So, this is where you've been hiding, Kakarot," Raditz said, his eyes fixed on Goku. Goku blinked in confusion. "Kakarot? Who are you?" Raditz chuckled darkly. "You really don't remember, do you? How pathetic. You were sent to this planet as an infant to destroy it, but it looks like you've forgotten your mission. Kakarot, I'm your brother. My name is Raditz, and like you, I'm a Saiyan." Everyone stood in shock, unable to process what they were hearing. Goku had no memory of being sent to Earth for any mission, and the idea that he was an alien, a Saiyan, was completely foreign to him. "What are you talking about?" Goku asked, still confused. "I'm not Kakarot, and I'm not a Saiyan. I was raised on Earth." Raditz's expression hardened. "You were sent here to conquer this planet, but instead you've grown soft, living among these weaklings. It's time for you to remember who you are and join me in destroying this world." Goku clenched his fists, realizing that this stranger wasn't here for a friendly reunion. I don't care who you say you are. I'm not going to help you destroy anything. Raditz sneered. You don't have a choice. If you won't join me willingly, then I'll take something from you to make sure you do. Before anyone could react, Raditz moved with blinding speed and grabbed Gohan, who had been standing behind Goku. Gohan cried out as Raditz lifted him into the air. "Gohan!" Goku shouted, his heart racing with fear. "If you ever want to see your son again, you'll do as I say," Raditz said coldly. "You have one day to join me, Kakarot. If you refuse, you'll never see your son again." With that, Raditz flew off into the sky, taking Gohan with him. Part 5. Goku and Piccolo join forces. Desperate to rescue his son, Goku was ready to chase after Raditz, but Krillin, Bulma, and Master Roshi stopped him. "You can't face him alone, Goku," Krillin said. "That guy is way stronger than anyone we've ever seen before." "But I have to save Gohan," Goku said, his voice filled with determination. Just then, a familiar figure appeared nearby, Piccolo, Goku's old enemy. Piccolo, who had sensed Raditz's immense power, knew that this was a threat far greater than anything he or Goku had ever faced before. "I don't like you, Goku," Piccolo said, crossing his arms, "but that guy is a problem for both of us. If we want to beat him, we'll have to work together." Goku, knowing he had no choice, reluctantly agreed. "Fine, we'll work together. But after we defeat him, I'm getting Gohan back." With their alliance formed, Goku and Piccolo set off to confront Raditz and rescue Gohan. The battle that awaited them would be unlike anything they had ever experienced before. Part 6. The battle with Raditz begins. With Gohan held captive, Goku and Piccolo wasted no time in tracking down Raditz. Using Piccolo's ability to sense energy, the two warriors flew toward Raditz's location, their minds focused on the impending battle. Despite their rivalry, Goku and Piccolo knew that they needed to work together if they had any hope of defeating Raditz, who had shown overwhelming power. As they approached Raditz's location, they landed in an open field where Raditz was waiting. He stood confidently with Gohan trapped inside his space pod, crying for help. "So you decided to come after all, Kakarot," Raditz said, grinning. "But bringing this Namekian won't make any difference. You're both far too weak to stop me." Goku stepped forward, his face serious. "I'm not going to let you hurt Gohan or anyone else." Piccolo, always direct, glared at Raditz. "You may be strong, but together we're going to end this here." Raditz chuckled darkly. "You fools! You don't even know what you're up against. Let's see what you've got." Part 7. Goku and Piccolo versus Raditz. The battle began with Goku and Piccolo charging toward Raditz. Their combined speed and strength caught Raditz off guard at first, and they managed to land a few blows, but Raditz quickly recovered, revealing just how much stronger he was than both of them. Raditz effortlessly dodged their attacks and countered with powerful strikes of his own. His attacks were so fast and brutal that Goku and Piccolo struggled to keep up. With a single kick, Raditz sent Goku flying backward, crashing into the ground. Piccolo launched energy blasts at Raditz, but the Saiyan dodged them easily. Raditz's scouter, a device that measured power levels, beeped as he analyzed his opponents. "Pathetic," Raditz said. "Your power levels are nothing compared to mine." Piccolo, gritting his teeth in frustration, revealed his trump card. "I've been working on a special technique, but I need time to charge it," he said to Goku. "Distract him while I prepare." Goku nodded, understanding the urgency. "I'll keep him busy." Part 8. Goku's desperate attack. Goku charged at Raditz with renewed determination, using all of his speed and strength to distract the Saiyan. Raditz, though powerful, was surprised by Goku's resilience. Despite being outmatched, Goku fought with everything he had, landing a few more blows while avoiding Raditz's deadly counterattacks. Meanwhile, Piccolo stood a short distance away, charging up his new technique, the special beam cannon. It was a powerful, concentrated energy attack that Piccolo had developed specifically to defeat powerful enemies like Raditz. However, the attack required time to gather enough energy, and Goku had to buy as much time as possible. Raditz, noticing Piccolo's energy build up, tried to break away from Goku, but Goku grabbed onto Raditz's tail, hoping to weaken him. Saiyans were known to have a weakness in their tails, and Goku hoped this would give Piccolo enough time to finish charging his attack. For a moment, Raditz flinched in pain, his power dropping as Goku held onto his tail. "Let go of my tail, Kakarot!" Raditz shouted, panicking. "I won't kill your son. I'll leave Earth if you let me go." Despite everything, Goku hesitated. Not wanting to see his brother die, Goku loosened his grip on Raditz's tail, trusting him to keep his word. Part 9. Raditz's treachery. But Raditz had no intention of keeping his promise. The moment Goku let go of his tail, Raditz attacked him viciously, delivering a crushing blow that knocked Goku to the ground. "You fool!" Raditz laughed. "Did you really think I'd let you and your pathetic friends live? Now you're going to die." Raditz powered up for a final attack, aiming to finish Goku once and for all. But before he could strike, Piccolo finished charging his special beam cannon. "Goku, get out of the way!" Piccolo shouted. Part 10. The Ultimate Sacrifice. Goku, realizing that he had no time to dodge, made a split-second decision. He rushed toward Raditz and grabbed him from behind, locking him in a tight hold. Raditz struggled, but Goku held on with all his strength. "Piccolo, do it!" Goku shouted. Piccolo hesitated for a moment, knowing that Goku would be caught in the blast as well. But with no other option, Piccolo unleashed the special beam cannon, a powerful spiral of energy that pierced through both Goku and Raditz. Raditz let out a scream of agony as the attack tore through his chest, and Goku collapsed to the ground beside him, mortally wounded. Part 11. Raditz's Last Words. As Raditz lay dying, he couldn't believe what had just happened. How could I be defeated by weaklings like you?" he muttered in disbelief. Piccolo, standing over Raditz, smirked. "You underestimated us, and that was your mistake." Raditz coughed, blood trickling from his mouth. "You think this is over? Even if you've killed me, there are others, stronger than me. 2 more Saiyans, and they'll come to this planet." Piccolo's eyes widened in shock. "What?" Raditz chuckled weakly. "I've already sent the message to them. They'll be here in 1 year, and when they arrive, this planet will be destroyed." With those final words, Raditz died. Part 12. Goku's Death and a New Journey. With Raditz's death, the immediate threat was over, but the revelation of more powerful Saiyans on the way left Piccolo and Goku's friends deeply concerned. They knew that they had only 1 year to prepare for the arrival of these new enemies. As Goku lay on the ground, his life slipping away, he smiled faintly. "I'm sorry, everyone, but I'm glad I could protect Gohan." Krillin, Bulma, and Master Roshi arrived at the scene just in time to witness Goku's final moments. As Goku passed away, his body disappeared, taken by Kami to begin his journey through the afterlife. Piccolo, meanwhile, took Gohan under his wing, recognizing the boy's hidden potential. He knew that they would need every ounce of strength they could gather to prepare for the coming Saiyan invasion. With Goku gone and the threat of more Saiyans looming, the Earth's fate hung in the balance. But Goku's journey was far from over. He was about to embark on a new adventure in the afterlife, one that would make him stronger than ever before. Part 13. Goku's Journey in the Afterlife. With Goku's body gone and his soul taken by Kami, Goku found himself in the other world, the realm of the afterlife. Here, Goku was introduced to the powerful ruler of the other world, King Yama, who judged the souls of the dead. Despite dying in battle, Goku had been given a rare opportunity. He could train with the legendary martial arts master King Kai to grow even stronger. "You did well, Goku," King Yama said, impressed by Goku's bravery. "But if you want to stand a chance against the Saiyans coming to Earth, you'll need King Kai's training." King Yama granted Goku permission to travel along Snake Way, a long, winding path that stretched across the other world and led to King Kai's planet. However, Snake Way was over 10,000 miles long, and it would take Goku considerable time and effort to reach his destination. Determined to grow stronger and protect his loved ones, Goku set off on Snake Way, running at full speed along the narrow path, unaware of the strange and dangerous obstacles that awaited him. Part 14. Piccolo trains Gohan. While Goku was making his way through the other world, Piccolo took Gohan under his wing. Piccolo, who had once been Goku's greatest enemy, now recognized the incredible potential within Gohan. The boy's power had surfaced briefly during the battle with Raditz, and Piccolo believed that Gohan could be the key to defeating the Saiyans. However, Piccolo's training methods were harsh. Gohan, still a young boy, was frightened and unsure of his own abilities, but Piccolo, knowing they had only 1 year to prepare for the Saiyan invasion, showed no mercy. Piccolo took Gohan to a remote wasteland and left him there alone to survive on his own for 6 months. Gohan was terrified and unprepared for the wilderness, but Piccolo believed that this harsh experience would help the boy unlock his hidden strength. "You've got great power inside of you, kid," Piccolo told him, "but if you want to survive against the Saiyans, you need to toughen up. I'll be watching you, but you're on your own for now." Gohan, though scared, slowly began to adapt to life in the wild. As the days passed, he learned to fend for himself, facing dangerous animals and overcoming the elements. And little by little, he started to tap into the immense power hidden within him. Part 15. The Z Fighters prepare for battle. Meanwhile, the rest of the Z Fighters, Krillin, Tien Shinhan, Chaozu and Yamcha, began their own intense training to prepare for the Saiyan invasion. Under the guidance of Kami, the Guardian of Earth, the fighters trained harder than ever before, knowing that the Saiyans were far more powerful than any enemy they had faced in the past. Kami revealed to them that the Saiyans who were coming, Vegeta and Nappa, were elite warriors with strength far surpassing Raditz. The Z fighters had no choice but to push their limits in order to stand a chance. Each warrior trained in their own unique way, pushing themselves to the brink of exhaustion. They knew that failure wasn't an option, as the fate of the Earth depended on their strength. Part 16. Goku's Journey on Snake Way. Back in the other world, Goku's journey along Snake Way continued. Though Goku was eager to reach King Kai's planet, Snake Way was far longer and more dangerous than he had expected. As he ran, Goku encountered strange creatures and obstacles that tried to block his path. At one point, Goku fell off Snake Way and ended up in Hell, where he was trapped for a short time by 2 mischievous ogres named Goz and Mez. Goku used his strength and wit to outsmart them, eventually escaping and returning to Snake Way. After what felt like an eternity, Goku finally reached the end of Snake Way, where he found King Kai's small planet floating in the sky. However, King Kai's planet had much stronger gravity than Earth, 10 times Earth's normal gravity, which made even walking difficult for Goku. Despite the intense gravity, Goku was excited to meet King Kai, a short, cheerful figure with antennae and a love for bad jokes. King Kai agreed to train Goku, but only if Goku could make him laugh with a good joke. After a few failed attempts, Goku finally succeeded, and King Kai began his training. Part 17. Goku trains under King Kai. King Kai's training was unlike anything Goku had experienced before. Not only did Goku have to adapt to the heavy gravity of King Kai's planet, but he also learned powerful new techniques that would prove essential in the battle against the Saiyans. The first technique Goku learned was the Kaioken, a special move that allowed Goku to multiply his power for short bursts of time. However, the Kaioken was dangerous to use. If pushed too far, it could severely damage Goku's body. King Kai warned Goku to use the technique carefully, but Goku was determined to master it. Next, Goku learned the powerful Spirit Bomb technique. The Spirit Bomb allowed Goku to gather energy from all living things and concentrate it into a massive attack. However, the technique required time to gather energy, and it could only be used effectively against enemies with evil hearts. As Goku trained day after day on King Kai's planet, his strength and speed increased dramatically. But even with all his newfound power, Goku knew he had to return to Earth quickly if he wanted to help his friends in the fight against the Saiyans. Part 18. The Saiyans arrive. 1 year had passed since Raditz's defeat, and the time had come. Vegeta and Nappa, two of the most powerful Saiyan warriors, finally arrived on Earth. Their space pods crashed down in a remote area, and the two Saiyans stepped out, ready to carry out their mission, destroy the Earth and find the Dragon Balls. Vegeta, the Saiyan prince, was smaller in stature but far more powerful and dangerous than Raditz had ever been. Nappa, his brutish partner, was a massive warrior with terrifying strength. Together, they were an unstoppable force. "So this is Earth," Vegeta said, scanning the area with his scouter. "Let's see if these Earthlings are as weak as Raditz said." Nappa grinned. "This is going to be fun." The Saiyans' arrival immediately triggered the scouters of the Z-Fighters, who had been waiting for this moment. Krillin, Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, and Piccolo prepared to face the Saiyans in battle, knowing that their training would soon be put to the test. But they also knew that Goku, their strongest ally, had not yet returned from the other world. With the Saiyans on Earth, they would have to hold the line until Goku could make his way back. Part 19. The Saiyan Threat. The arrival of Vegeta and Nappa on Earth sent shockwaves through the Z-Fighters. As soon as they landed, the two Saiyans wasted no time in searching for the Dragon Balls, confident in their overwhelming power. Using their scouters, they quickly detected the power levels of Earth's strongest warriors: Piccolo, Krillin, Tien Shinhan, Chaozu, and Yamcha, all gathered and waiting to confront them. "It looks like we've got some company, Vegeta," Nappa said, grinning as he looked at his scouter. "But their power levels are pathetic. This is going to be easy." Vegeta, always calm and calculating, smirked. "Let's not waste time. Take care of them quickly, Nappa." Meanwhile, the Z-Fighters gathered, each feeling the weight of the battle ahead. They knew they were about to face two of the most powerful warriors they had ever encountered, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. But despite the fear in their hearts, they were determined to protect the Earth. Piccolo, always stern and focused, glanced at Gohan, who had been training with him for the past year. "Stay sharp, kid. This is going to be the toughest battle of your life." Gohan, still young and nervous, nodded. "I'll do my best, Mr. Piccolo." Part 20. The Cybermen Unleashed. Before engaging the Z-fighters directly, Nappa decided to have some fun. He planted several small seeds into the ground, and moments later, the seeds sprouted into small green creatures called Cybermen, vicious fighters with considerable strength. "These guys should be enough to handle the weaklings," Nappa said with a grin. "Let's see how they do." The Cybermen, though not as strong as the Saiyans, were still powerful enemies. Each Z-fighter took on a Cyberman, and the battle began. Yamcha faced off against one of the creatures and quickly showed off the results of his year of training. With his speed and skill, Yamcha managed to gain the upper hand, defeating the Cyberman with a powerful attack. But as Yamcha let his guard down, thinking the battle was over, the defeated Cyberman suddenly sprang back to life and latched onto him. Before Yamcha could react, the Cyberman self-destructed, killing Yamcha instantly in a massive explosion. The other Z-fighters stood in shock as Yamcha's lifeless body lay on the ground. It was a brutal reminder of just how deadly the Saiyans were. "Yamcha!" Bulma, watching from a distance, screamed in horror, her heart broken by the loss of her close friend. Krillin, filled with rage and sorrow, vowed to avenge Yamcha. He gathered his energy and unleashed a devastating attack, wiping out the remaining Cybermen in one powerful blast. Part 21. Nappa enters the battle. With the Cybermen defeated, it was now time for Nappa to join the battle. The towering Saiyan stepped forward, confident that he could take on all of the Z-fighters at once. He was far stronger than any of them had anticipated, and his attacks were brutal and relentless. First, Tien Shinhan launched a series of powerful energy blasts at Nappa, hoping to land a hit. But Nappa shrugged off Tien's attacks like they were nothing, laughing as he countered with a devastating punch that severely injured Tien. Despite his injuries, Tien refused to give up, determined to keep fighting. Next, Chiaotzu, seeing his friend in danger, made a heartbreaking decision. Using his psychic powers, Chiaotzu latched onto Nappa's back, clinging tightly to him. With tears in his eyes, Chiaotzu said his final goodbye to Tien and self-destructed, hoping to take Nappa down with him. The explosion was massive, but when the dust settled, Nappa stood unharmed, laughing at the futile sacrifice. Tien, devastated by the loss of his friend, gathered all of his remaining strength and attacked Nappa with his most powerful technique, the Tri-Beam. But even Tien's ultimate attack wasn't enough to defeat the monstrous Saiyan, and Tien collapsed from exhaustion, dying alongside his fallen friend. Part 22. Gohan and Krillin versus Nappa. With Tien and Chiaotzu now dead, only Piccolo, Gohan and Krillin remained to face Nappa. Despite the overwhelming odds, Krillin and Piccolo were determined to protect Gohan and keep fighting. Nappa, confident in his strength, charged at the group, launching powerful punches and energy blasts. At one point, Nappa set his sights on Gohan, aiming to finish him off with a powerful attack. Gohan, frozen in fear, couldn't move as Nappa charged at him. But just before Nappa's attack could land, Piccolo stepped in and took the full force of the blow, saving Gohan's life. The attack severely injured Piccolo, and he fell to the ground, barely able to move. Gohan, realizing what had just happened, was overcome with guilt and sadness. Piccolo, who had once been his enemy, had just sacrificed himself to save him. With his final moments approaching, Piccolo looked at Gohan and smiled. "You were the only friend I ever had," Piccolo said quietly. "Take care of yourself, kid." With those last words, Piccolo died, and with his death, Kami, the guardian of Earth, who was linked to Piccolo's life, also passed away. This meant that the Dragon Balls, which Kami had created, had now turned to stone, leaving the Z-fighters with no way to revive their fallen friends. Gohan, now filled with anger and grief, unleashed a powerful energy blast at Nappa, surprising everyone with his sudden surge of strength. Though Gohan's attack didn't defeat Nappa, it was clear that the young boy had incredible potential, and even Nappa was taken aback by the sheer force of the attack. Part 23. Goku returns. As the situation grew dire, Krillin and Gohan were running out of options. Nappa, though injured, was still too powerful for them to defeat. Just as all hope seemed lost, a familiar presence was felt approaching the battlefield. It was Goku, who had finally returned to Earth after completing his training with King Kai. Flying in on his flying Nimbus, Goku arrived just in time to see the devastation caused by the Saiyans. He immediately sensed the loss of Yamcha, Tien, Chiaotzu, and Piccolo, and his heart ached for his fallen friends. But he knew that there was no time for grief. He had to stop the Saiyans before any more lives were lost. Nappa, sensing Goku's power, grinned. "So you're Kakarot, huh? Let's see what you've got." But Goku, now far stronger than ever before thanks to his training with King Kai, was more than ready for the fight. In an instant, Goku's power level skyrocketed, shocking both Nappa and Vegeta, who had been watching the battle closely. Without wasting any time, Goku quickly overpowered Nappa, using his Kaioken technique to boost his speed and strength. Nappa, who had been confident in his superiority, was now completely outmatched. Goku easily dodged his attacks and countered with powerful blows that left Nappa stunned and helpless. Realizing that Nappa had been defeated, Vegeta, frustrated by his partner's failure, coldly ordered Nappa to step aside. When Nappa refused to retreat, Vegeta mercilessly killed him with a single blast, showing no remorse for his fallen comrade. Now the true battle was about to begin. Goku versus Vegeta, the Saiyan Prince. Part 24. Goku vs. Vegeta. With Nappa defeated and mercilessly killed by Vegeta, the true battle for Earth was about to begin. Goku and Vegeta stood facing each other, the tension between them palpable. Goku could sense Vegeta's incredible power, far greater than Nappa's, and he knew that this fight would push him to his limits. Vegeta, confident in his strength as the Saiyan Prince, smirked. "I've heard rumors that you were strong, Kakarot, but don't think for a second that you can defeat me. I am the Prince of all Saiyans." Goku, calm and focused, replied, "I don't care about that. All I care about is stopping you from destroying the Earth." The two warriors stared each other down for a moment, and then, with a sudden burst of speed, the battle began. Part 25. An intense battle. The fight between Goku and Vegeta was unlike anything the Earth had ever seen. The two Saiyans exchanged a flurry of punches and kicks, their movements too fast for the untrained eye to follow. The ground beneath them shook with each impact, and shockwaves rippled across the battlefield. Goku, using his Kaioken technique, managed to keep up with Vegeta's incredible speed and power. With the Kaioken, Goku could temporarily multiply his strength, allowing him to go toe-to-toe with Vegeta. However, the technique came at a cost. It put a tremendous strain on Goku's body, and if he pushed it too far, it could prove fatal. Vegeta, on the other hand, was fighting with an air of superiority. As the Saiyan Prince, he had trained all his life to be the best, and he was determined to prove that no one, not even a low-class warrior like Goku, could surpass him. "You're stronger than I expected, Kakarot," Vegeta admitted, wiping a bit of sweat from his brow. "But don't think for a second that you've seen my full power." Vegeta began to power up, his energy skyrocketing as he prepared to unleash his full strength. Goku could feel the intensity of Vegeta's energy, and he knew that the fight was about to reach a new level. Part 26. Vegeta's Gallic Gun. As the battle raged on, Vegeta decided it was time to end things once and for all. He flew high into the sky, gathering his energy for a devastating attack. "This planet means nothing to me," Vegeta sneered. "I'll destroy it and you along with it, Kakarot." Vegeta raised both hands above his head and charged his signature attack, the Gallic Gun. The purple energy blast grew larger and more intense as Vegeta prepared to fire it down at Goku and obliterate the Earth. Seeing the massive buildup of energy, Goku knew he had to act quickly. He powered up his own attack, the Kamehameha, channeling all of his energy into the iconic blue beam. It was a dangerous gamble, but Goku had no choice but to use the Kaioken to increase his strength even further. "Kaioken! ×3!" Goku shouted, pushing his body to its limits as he unleashed the Kamehameha. The two attacks collided in a blinding flash of light. The Gallic Gun and the Kamehameha clashed in a fierce struggle, with both warriors pouring every ounce of their strength into their attacks. The ground trembled, and the sky lit up as the energy beams fought for dominance. For a moment, it seemed like Vegeta's Gallic Gun would overpower Goku's Kamehameha. But Goku, refusing to give up, pushed the Kaioken even further, increasing it to ×4, despite the immense strain on his body. "Kaioken ×4!" Goku screamed, giving everything he had. With one final surge of power, Goku's Kamehameha overpowered Vegeta's Gallic Gun, sending the Saiyan Prince flying into the sky in a massive explosion. Part 27. Vegeta transforms into a great ape. Despite Goku's incredible effort, Vegeta was far from defeated. Furious that he had been pushed to this point by a lower-class Saiyan, Vegeta decided to use a secret weapon, the transformation into a great ape, Uzaru. Though Earth's moon had been destroyed by Master Roshi long ago, Vegeta had a trick up his sleeve. He created a power ball, an artificial moon made of energy that replicated the full moon's light. Vegeta threw the power ball into the sky and stared up at it, allowing the transformation to begin. Goku watched in horror as Vegeta's body grew larger and larger, transforming into the towering great ape. In this form, Vegeta's power was multiplied tenfold, making him nearly unstoppable. "Now you'll see the true power of a Saiyan, Kakarot," Vegeta roared, his voice deep and menacing as the great ape. Goku, already exhausted from using the Kaioken, was now faced with an even greater challenge. The massive Vegeta stomped across the battlefield, his strength overwhelming as he attacked Goku with devastating force. Part 28. Gohan, Krillin and Yajirobe intervene. As Goku struggled to fight against the great ape Vegeta, his body severely weakened from the repeated use of the Kaioken, help finally arrived. Krillin and Gohan, who had been recovering from their earlier battle with Nappa, arrived at the battlefield, ready to assist their friend. Seeing the massive great ape, Krillin knew they had to come up with a plan. Goku, too weak to fight at full power, told Krillin and Gohan to aim for Vegeta's tail. By cutting off the tail, Vegeta would revert to his normal form, and they would have a chance to defeat him. Meanwhile, Yajirobe, who had been hiding nearby, saw the opportunity to help as well. Though cowardly at first, Yajirobe mustered the courage to sneak up behind Vegeta while he was distracted, and with one swift swing of his sword, sliced off Vegeta's tail. In an instant, Vegeta shrank back to his normal size, but his rage was far from diminished. Part 29. Goku's Spirit Bomb. With Vegeta back in his normal form, Goku saw one last chance to finish the fight. Using the technique he had learned from King Kai, Goku began gathering energy for the Spirit Bomb. Though Goku was too weak to use the Spirit Bomb himself, he entrusted Krillin with the attack. "Take this energy and use it against Vegeta," Goku told Krillin, handing him the condensed energy of the Spirit Bomb. You have to aim carefully. Krillin, though nervous, accepted the task. He raised his hand and prepared to throw the spirit bomb at Vegeta, who was now charging at Gohan with murderous intent. Krillin aimed carefully, but at the last moment, Gohan jumped in the way, causing Krillin to hesitate. Sensing the pure heart within Gohan, Goku shouted to him telepathically, telling him to reflect the spirit bomb toward Vegeta. With newfound courage, Gohan did as Goku instructed. The spirit bomb struck Vegeta, sending him flying and severely injuring the Saiyan prince. Part 30. Vegeta's Retreat. The battlefield was quiet after the spirit bomb's impact. Vegeta, now gravely injured, struggled to stand. He had been pushed to his limits by Goku, Gohan, Krillin, and even Yajirobe. For the first time in his life, the Saiyan prince had been utterly humiliated by lower-class warriors. Vegeta's pride was shattered, but his rage still burned. Even though he was injured, he wasn't willing to admit defeat. Staring at the weakened Goku and his allies, Vegeta gritted his teeth in frustration. "I won't let you scum live," Vegeta growled, preparing to finish off Goku and the others, despite his weakened state. But before Vegeta could act, Gohan, still determined to protect his father and friends, launched himself at the Saiyan prince. Gohan's power surged once more, fueled by his intense emotions. With one final attack, Gohan landed a powerful strike that sent Vegeta crashing to the ground. Vegeta, realizing that he was outmatched and dangerously close to death, knew he had no choice but to retreat. His scouter was damaged, his tail was gone, and his body was battered. For the first time, Vegeta swallowed his pride. Part 31. Vegeta's Escape. As Vegeta lay on the ground, Krillin stood over him, holding Yajirobe's sword. With the sword raised, Krillin prepared to deliver the finishing blow and end Vegeta's threat once and for all. "This is for all the people you've killed," Krillin shouted, ready to strike. But before Krillin could finish him, Goku, barely able to speak, called out from the ground. "Krillin, stop!" Krillin turned in shock. "What? Goku, after everything he's done, we can't let him go." Despite his injuries, Goku, ever merciful, spoke up. "I know he's done terrible things, but I want to fight him again someday. Let him go." Krillin hesitated, torn between his anger and Goku's wishes. After a moment, Krillin lowered the sword. "Fine, Goku, but if he comes back, we'll have to finish him." Vegeta, now free to escape, called his space pod to him. As the pod landed, Vegeta crawled inside, glaring at Goku and the others with hatred in his eyes. "You fools," Vegeta spat. "You'll regret this. I'll be back, and next time I'll destroy you all." With those final words, Vegeta's space pod launched into the sky, leaving Earth. Though Vegeta had been defeated, his vow of revenge echoed in the minds of Goku and his friends. Part 32. Aftermath of the battle. The battle against the Saiyans was over, but the cost had been devastating. Yamcha, Tien, Chiaotzu, and Piccolo had all been killed during the fight, and with Kami's death, the Dragon Balls were gone. Without the Dragon Balls, there was no way to bring back their fallen friends. As the dust settled, Bulma, Master Roshi, and the others arrived on the battlefield to assess the damage. Krillin explained what had happened, and Bulma was heartbroken over the loss of her friends, especially Yamcha, but there was still hope. Krillin, remembering something Vegeta had mentioned during the battle, realized that the Saiyans weren't the only ones who knew about the Dragon Balls. There were Dragon Balls on planet Namek, Piccolo's homeworld. "If we can get to Namek, we might be able to find their Dragon Balls and bring everyone back," Krillin exclaimed. The group quickly began making plans to travel to Namek. Though Goku was too injured to join them right away, Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan prepared to set off on a new journey across the galaxy to find the Namekian Dragon Balls and revive their fallen friends. Part 33. Goku's Recovery. While Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan prepared for their journey to Namek, Goku was taken to a hospital to recover from his injuries. His body had been severely damaged from using the Kaioken and fighting Vegeta, and he needed time to heal. Though Goku was disappointed that he couldn't join the others on their journey right away, he remained hopeful. He knew that with enough time he would recover and become even stronger than before. During his recovery, Goku stayed in contact with King Kai, continuing his training mentally while his body healed. King Kai also warned Goku about Vegeta. The Saiyan prince would likely seek reinforcements and return to Earth with even greater power, so Goku would need to be ready for the next threat. Part 34. The journey to Namek begins. With Goku recovering on Earth, Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan began their journey to planet Namek. Bulma had worked tirelessly to modify Kami's old spaceship, and soon the three set off into space, determined to find the Namekian Dragon Balls and revive their friends. As they traveled through space, they encountered various dangers, including hostile aliens and mechanical problems with the ship. But through teamwork and perseverance, they continued their journey, never losing sight of their goal. However, they weren't the only ones headed to Namek. Vegeta, still recovering from his defeat on Earth, was also en route to Namek. He had learned about the Namekian Dragon Balls and planned to use them to wish for immortality, ensuring that he would never be defeated again. But there was an even greater danger looming on the horizon. Frieza, the most powerful and feared tyrant in the universe, had also learned of the Dragon Balls and was making his way to Namek to claim them for himself. Part 35. Arrival on Namek. After a long and difficult journey, Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan finally arrived on planet Namek. The lush green planet was peaceful at first glance, but the group soon realized that they were not alone. Frieza's forces had already begun scouring the planet for the Dragon Balls, terrorizing the peaceful Namekians to get what they wanted. Krillin and Gohan, though strong from their training on Earth, knew they were no match for Frieza's army. But they were determined to protect the Namekians and find the Dragon Balls before it was too late. As they explored Namek, they met Dende, a young Namekian who had managed to escape Frieza's forces. Dende agreed to help Krillin and Gohan in their quest, leading them to Guru, the eldest Namekian, who possessed knowledge of the Dragon Balls. But with Vegeta, Frieza, and his army all searching for the Dragon Balls, the race was on, and the stakes had never been higher. Part 36. The race for the Dragon Balls. Having arrived on planet Namek, Bulma, Krillin, and Gohan immediately set out to find the Dragon Balls in order to revive their fallen friends. However, they quickly discovered that Frieza and his army of soldiers were already on the planet, searching for the Dragon Balls as well. Frieza, one of the most feared beings in the universe, had no intention of letting anyone else have them. Vegeta, still recovering from his battle on Earth, also arrived on Namek with a plan of his own. His goal was to find the Dragon Balls before Frieza and use them to wish for immortality, ensuring that he could one day overthrow Frieza and become the ruler of the universe. With all these powerful forces searching for the Dragon Balls, the race was on, and the stakes had never been higher. Part 37. Meeting Guru and Unlocking Potential. As Krillin and Gohan explored planet Namek, they met a young Namekian boy named Dende, who had narrowly escaped an attack by Frieza's soldiers. Dende led them to Guru, the eldest and most powerful Namekian, who possessed deep knowledge of the Dragon Balls. When Krillin and Gohan met Guru, they explained their mission to find the Dragon Balls and revive their friends. Moved by their determination and pure hearts, Guru offered to help them. He revealed that the Namekian Dragon Balls were much more powerful than Earth's Dragon Balls, as they could grant 3 wishes instead of just 1. Guru also sensed the hidden potential within both Krillin and Gohan. By placing his hand on their heads, Guru used his power to unlock their latent abilities, making both Krillin and Gohan significantly stronger. "You have great power inside you," Guru told Gohan. "You will need it in the battles ahead." With their new strength, Krillin and Gohan were more determined than ever to protect planet Namek and prevent Frieza from getting the Dragon Balls. Part 38. Vegeta's Plan. Meanwhile, Vegeta had already begun his own search for the Dragon Balls. After learning about Frieza's presence on Namek, Vegeta knew he had to act quickly. Though still recovering from his injuries, Vegeta had grown much stronger since his defeat on Earth. He was now capable of taking down Frieza's soldiers with ease. One by one, Vegeta ambushed Frieza's forces, stealing the Dragon Balls they had collected. His strategy was simple: let Frieza do the work of finding the Dragon Balls, and then take them for himself. However, Frieza quickly became aware of Vegeta's actions. Furious at the betrayal, Frieza sent his most elite warriors, the Ginyu Force, to track down Vegeta and put an end to his interference. Part 39. The Ginyu Force arrives. As Vegeta, Krillin and Gohan continued their search for the Dragon Balls, a new threat was about to descend upon planet Namek, the Ginyu Force, Frieza's most elite squad of warriors. These 5 powerful fighters, Captain Ginyu, Jis, Berta, Recoome and Guldo, were known for their strength, speed and loyalty to Frieza. Their mission was simple: retrieve the Dragon Balls and eliminate anyone who stood in their way, including Vegeta. Part 40. The Arrival of the Ginyu Force. After stealing several of Frieza's Dragon Balls, Vegeta felt confident in his plan to use them to wish for immortality. However, his confidence quickly turned to dread when he sensed a powerful new group of warriors approaching, the Ginyu Force. Known throughout the universe as Frieza's most elite and fearsome team, the Ginyu Force was called in by Frieza himself to retrieve the Dragon Balls and eliminate anyone who stood in their way. As Vegeta stood alongside Krillin and Gohan, the 5 members of the Ginyu Force, Captain Ginyu, Recoome, Berta, Jis and Guldo, landed dramatically in front of them. The Ginyu Force immediately displayed their bizarre poses and flashy theatrics, but beneath their playful facade was a deadly group of warriors far more powerful than anything Krillin or Gohan had ever encountered. Vegeta clenched his fists, knowing that the Ginyu Force was not to be underestimated. "We're in serious trouble," Vegeta muttered to himself. Part 41. The Battle with Guldo. The first member of the Ginyu Force to step forward was Guldo, a short green alien with 4 eyes. Though he appeared weak compared to the others, Guldo possessed a dangerous ability. He could manipulate time, freezing his enemies in place for short periods. Guldo, eager to prove himself, targeted Krillin and Gohan. As the battle began, Krillin and Gohan initially gained the upper hand thanks to their training and newly unlocked potential from Guru. However, Guldo used his time-freezing ability to immobilize them, allowing him to attack without fear of retaliation. Just as it seemed that Guldo would defeat Krillin and Gohan, Vegeta intervened. Seizing the opportunity, Vegeta attacked Guldo while he was distracted, decapitating him with a powerful energy blast and ending the fight. "You were too slow, Guldo," Vegeta sneered as Guldo's body collapsed. But despite their victory, Vegeta knew that the real challenge was just beginning. Part 42. The Battle with Recoome. Next up was the towering and muscle-bound Recoome. Confident in his strength, Recoome showed no fear as he faced off against Vegeta. Despite Vegeta's efforts to take him down quickly, Recoome easily shrugged off his attacks, barely taking any damage. Recoome taunted Vegeta, mocking his inability to defeat him. In a rage, Vegeta unleashed his full power, but even his most powerful attacks, such as the Gallic Gun, barely left a scratch on Recoome. The Ginyu Force member responded by delivering a brutal counterattack, severely injuring Vegeta with a devastating barrage of punches and kicks. As Vegeta lay on the ground, bloodied and beaten, Krillin and Gohan stepped in to help. Gohan, seeing his ally in danger, rushed in to fight Recoome. Despite Gohan's valiant efforts, Recoome easily overpowered the young Sayan, delivering a powerful kick that left Gohan severely injured. Krillin, desperate to protect Gohan, launched a series of energy blasts at Recoome, but his attacks had little effect. Recoome continued to mock them, confident in his invincibility. Part 43. Goku's Arrival. Just when all hope seemed lost, a familiar figure appeared on the horizon. Goku, having fully recovered from his injuries and completed his training with King Kai, had finally arrived on planet Namek. Sensing the danger his friends were in, Goku flew to the battlefield at top speed, arriving just in time to save them. As Goku landed, he immediately checked on Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta, giving them each a Senzu Bean to heal their injuries. Gohan and Krillin were overjoyed to see Goku, and even Vegeta, though still distrustful, was relieved by Goku's timely arrival. Goku's calm demeanor stood in stark contrast to the chaos around him. As Recoome prepared to attack, Goku confidently stepped forward, ready to take on the hulking Ginyu Force member. Part 44. Goku vs. Recoome. Recoome, still full of confidence, charged at Goku, expecting an easy victory. However, Goku's training on King Kai's planet had made him far stronger than anyone expected. Using his enhanced speed, Goku dodged Recoome's attacks effortlessly, landing a single powerful blow that knocked Recoome unconscious in an instant. The remaining members of the Ginyu Force, Jeice, Berta, and Captain Ginyu, were stunned by how easily Goku had defeated Recoome. Even Vegeta was shocked by Goku's newfound strength, realizing that Goku had become far more powerful than him. Part 45. Goku vs. Berta and Jeice. Next, Berta and Jeice decided to team up against Goku. Berta, known as the fastest in the universe, boasted that no one could match his speed. But as the battle began, it quickly became clear that Goku's speed was far beyond anything Berta had ever encountered. Goku easily dodged Berta's attacks, and with a quick, decisive strike, knocked Berta out cold. Jeice, now terrified, hesitated to continue fighting, realizing that Goku was far stronger than anyone he had ever faced. Vegeta, taking advantage of the situation, attacked the unconscious Berta, finishing him off. He then turned his attention to Jeice, ruthlessly killing him as well. Goku, though disturbed by Vegeta's cold-blooded actions, knew there was no time to argue. Captain Ginyu, the leader of the Ginyu Force, still remained. Part 46. Captain Ginyu's Secret Weapon. Captain Ginyu, the leader of the Ginyu Force, stepped forward, ready to face Goku. Unlike the other members of his team, Ginyu didn't immediately attack. Instead, he scanned Goku's power level with his scouter, shocked by how strong Goku had become. Ginyu realized that Goku's body held immense potential, and he hatched a devious plan to take it for himself. As the battle between Goku and Ginyu began, Ginyu deliberately injured himself, shocking Goku. Before Goku could react, Ginyu unleashed his secret technique, the body change, a powerful ability that allowed him to switch bodies with his opponent. Goku, caught off guard, was unable to stop the technique, and in an instant, Captain Ginyu had taken control of Goku's body. Part 47. Goku trapped in Ginyu's body. With Goku now trapped in Ginyu's damaged body, and Captain Ginyu controlling Goku's powerful Saiyan body, the situation seemed dire. Ginyu, in Goku's body, struggled to use Goku's full strength, as he wasn't familiar with the finer control needed to harness Goku's power. Meanwhile, Goku, stuck in Ginyu's weakened body, tried to warn Krillin, Gohan, and Vegeta of the switch. Though Ginyu was still powerful in Goku's body, his lack of control over the Saiyan's abilities gave the Z-Fighters a fighting chance. Gohan and Krillin teamed up to attack Ginyu, while Goku, in Ginyu's body, fought alongside them to try and stop the Mad Captain from using his stolen power. Part 48. Vegeta's Intervention. As the battle raged on, Vegeta, now fully recovered, stepped in to finish off the remaining Ginyu Force members. With his superior strength, Vegeta easily overpowered Ginyu in Goku's body and taunted him for failing to control Goku's true potential. In a desperate move, Captain Ginyu attempted to switch bodies with Vegeta, but Goku, using the last of his strength in Ginyu's body, managed to jump in the way. The body change was reversed, and Goku returned to his original body just in time. Defeated and humiliated, Ginyu tried one final attempt to switch bodies again, but Vegeta, now fully aware of Ginyu's tactics, threw a frog in the path of the body change beam, causing Ginyu to swap bodies with the frog. Captain Ginyu, now trapped in the body of a small frog, was rendered harmless, and the battle with the Ginyu Force finally came to an end. Part 49. Recovering after the Ginyu Force battle. With the Ginyu Force defeated, Goku, Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta took a brief moment to recover. However, Goku was severely injured after the intense battle, and his body needed time to heal. Dende, the young Namekian who had been helping the group, led them to Guru, the eldest Namekian, who had been watching over them from afar. Guru knew of their struggles and offered them guidance. Sensing that Goku's injuries were too severe to heal on their own, Vegeta suggested that Goku be placed inside a healing pod within Frieza's spaceship. Although reluctant to trust Vegeta, Krillin and Gohan agreed, knowing that Goku's recovery was essential if they were to have any chance against Frieza. Part 50. Frieza's Wrath. Meanwhile, Frieza, growing impatient with his subordinate's failure, decided to take matters into his own hands. Frieza had already collected several of the Dragon Balls, but he knew that Vegeta and the others were in possession of the remaining ones. Furious that they had dared to defy him, Frieza flew off in search of them, intending to personally retrieve the Dragon Balls and make his wish for immortality. Frieza's power was unlike anything Gohan, Krillin, or Vegeta had ever faced. Even Vegeta, who had grown stronger over the course of the battle with the Ginyu Force, knew that Frieza's true power far surpassed anything they could imagine. Part 51. Gohan and Krillin's Quest for the Dragon Balls. While Goku recovered in the healing pod, Gohan and Krillin took it upon themselves to gather the remaining Dragon Balls. With Dende's help, they planned to use the Namekian Dragon Balls to wish back their fallen friends before Frieza could find them. As they traveled to Guru's location to retrieve the final Dragon Ball, Guru sensed that time was running out for his people. Frieza's army had been terrorizing the Namekians in their search for the Dragon Balls, and Guru, feeling his life force weakening, warned Gohan and Krillin to act quickly. With Guru's permission, Gohan and Krillin took the final Dragon Ball and prepared to summon Purunga, the powerful dragon of Namek, who could grant 3 wishes. However, before they could use the Dragon Balls, they were intercepted by Vegeta, who had been watching them from the shadows. Part 52. The Unexpected Alliance. Vegeta, realizing that he could use the Dragon Balls for himself to wish for immortality, confronted Gohan and Krillin. Though tensions were high, Vegeta knew that he couldn't take on Frieza alone. He proposed an alliance with Gohan and Krillin, suggesting that they work together to summon the dragon before Frieza could stop them. Reluctantly, Gohan and Krillin agreed to the uneasy alliance. With Dende by their side to help summon Purunga, they gathered the Dragon Balls and prepared to make their wishes. Part 53. The Summoning of Purunga. With all 7 Dragon Balls gathered, Dende began the incantation to summon Purunga, the massive dragon of Namek. Unlike Shenron, the dragon of Earth, Purunga was far larger and more powerful, capable of granting 3 wishes instead of just 1. As Purunga emerged from the Dragon Balls, the sky darkened, and his immense form filled the air. His voice boomed across the planet as he asked for the first wish. Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta had little time to decide their first wish. They quickly asked Dende to wish for Piccolo to be revived, knowing that if Piccolo returned, Kami would also be revived on Earth, which would restore the Earth's Dragon Balls. Purunga granted the wish, and Piccolo was brought back to life. However, before they could make their second wish, they were interrupted by the arrival of Frieza. Part 54. Frieza arrives. Just as they were about to make their second wish, Frieza appeared in a furious rage. Realizing that Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin had summoned the dragon before he could, Frieza demanded that they hand over the Dragon Balls and allow him to make his wish for immortality. The group was paralyzed with fear. They had already seen what Frieza was capable of, and they knew they stood little chance against him in their current state. Even Vegeta, who had become far stronger since arriving on Namek, knew that he was no match for Frieza. "You fools!" Frieza snarled, his voice filled with venom. "I'll make sure you suffer for this." However, before Frieza could act, Guru's life force finally gave out. The wise elder Namekian had been holding on for as long as he could, but his time had come to an end. With Guru's death, the Dragon Balls turned to stone, and Purunga disappeared before any more wishes could be made. Frieza's rage erupted. Furious that his chance at immortality had been taken from him, he vowed to destroy everyone who had stood in his way. Part 55. The battle with Frieza begins. With the Dragon Balls now useless, the time had come for the final battle. Frieza, determined to annihilate Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin, powered up to a level they had never seen before. The sheer force of his energy was enough to make the ground tremble beneath their feet. Knowing they couldn't defeat Frieza in his current form, Piccolo, who had just arrived after being revived, stepped forward to fight. Thanks to his fusion with Nail, a powerful Namekian warrior, Piccolo had gained an incredible boost in strength. Confident in his newfound power, Piccolo challenged Frieza, hoping to buy time for Goku to recover. Piccolo and Frieza clashed in an intense battle, with both fighters exchanging powerful blows and energy blasts. Piccolo, now far stronger than before, managed to hold his own against Frieza for a time. However, Frieza soon revealed that he had been holding back his true power. Part 56. Frieza's Transformation. Realizing that Piccolo was more of a threat than he had initially expected, Frieza decided to reveal his true strength. Frieza had the ability to transform into several more powerful forms, each one increasing his strength exponentially. Frieza transformed into his second form, a massive, hulking version of himself that greatly increased his power. In this form, Frieza quickly overpowered Piccolo, who, despite his best efforts, couldn't keep up with the tyrant's immense strength. Gohan and Krillin watched in horror as Piccolo struggled to stay in the fight. Gohan, enraged by the sight of his mentor being beaten, unleashed a powerful energy blast at Frieza. Though the attack momentarily staggered Frieza, it wasn't enough to stop him. Frieza, now even more furious, decided to transform once again, this time into his third form, a grotesque and monstrous appearance that further increased his strength. Part 57. Goku Awakens. As the battle against Frieza reached a critical point, Goku finally emerged from the healing pod, fully recovered and stronger than ever. Sensing the danger his friends were in, Goku immediately flew to the battlefield, determined to put an end to Frieza's reign of terror. When Goku arrived, he was met with the sight of Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin, struggling against Frieza's overwhelming power. Frieza, now in his third form, was preparing to finish them off. Without hesitation, Goku stepped in to confront Frieza. The time had come for the final showdown between the legendary Super Saiyan and the tyrant who had terrorized the universe for so long. Part 58. Goku faces Frieza. As Goku stepped onto the battlefield, the intense aura of Frieza's power surrounded him. Goku could feel the destruction and chaos that Frieza had caused, and he saw the pain his friends had suffered at the tyrant's hands. Piccolo lay injured, Gohan and Krillin were barely holding on, and the Namekians had been nearly wiped out. Frieza, now in his monstrous third form, laughed as Goku approached. "So, you must be the famous Goku I've heard so much about. You don't look like much." Goku, calm but determined, looked at Frieza with steady eyes. "I'm not here to talk. I'm here to stop you from destroying anyone else." Frieza sneered. "We'll see about that, monkey." With that, the final battle for the fate of planet Namek and the entire universe began. Part 59. Frieza's final transformation. Frieza, still in his third form, attacked Goku with powerful energy blasts and lightning-fast strikes. However, Goku's training with King Kai and his recent recovery had made him stronger than ever. He effortlessly dodged Frieza's attacks, shocking both Frieza and the Z-fighters. Despite Frieza's monstrous power, Goku's strength seemed to surpass it. The Saiyan warrior landed several blows on Frieza, sending the tyrant flying across the battlefield. Frieza, enraged at the thought of being bested by a Saiyan, decided to reveal his true power. "You think you've won?" Frieza snarled. "You haven't even seen my final form?" With a chilling scream, Frieza began his final transformation. His body slimmed down, his grotesque form shedding to reveal a sleek, more humanoid appearance. In this final form, Frieza was at the peak of his power, stronger, faster, and deadlier than ever before. The ground shook as Frieza's energy surged, and Goku could feel the overwhelming force of the tyrant's full power. Part 60. Frieza's power unleashed. Now, in his final form, Frieza wasted no time in showing off his true strength. In an instant, he charged at Goku with incredible speed, landing a powerful punch that sent Goku crashing into the ground. The sheer force of the attack caused the planet to tremble, and Goku realized that this battle would be even more difficult than he had imagined. Frieza grinned as he looked down at Goku. "This is my true power, Sayan. You'll never defeat me." But Goku, determined to protect his friends and the universe, refused to give up. He pushed himself back to his feet and powered up, unleashing his Kaioken technique to multiply his strength. The red aura of the Kaioken surrounded Goku as he charged back at Frieza, their fists clashing in a fierce exchange of blows. Despite the power of the Kaioken, Frieza's strength seemed limitless. He effortlessly countered Goku's attacks, delivering devastating blows that left Goku struggling to keep up. Part 61. Frieza's Ruthless Tactics. As the battle raged on, Frieza grew frustrated by Goku's resilience. Though he was far stronger, Goku refused to stay down. In a fit of rage, Frieza decided to target Goku's loved ones, believing that would break his spirit. Frieza turned his attention to Gohan, Krillin, and the injured Piccolo, who had been watching the battle from the sidelines. With a sadistic grin, Frieza fired a deadly energy blast at Gohan, intending to finish him off. Goku, sensing the attack, rushed to block it, saving Gohan at the last second. But the attack left Goku drained, and Frieza continued his relentless assault, laughing as he toyed with Goku's emotions. "You care too much about these weaklings," Frieza sneered. "They're only holding you back." Part 62. The Spirit Bomb. Realizing that he needed more power to defeat Frieza, Goku decided to use the technique he had learned from King Kai, the Spirit Bomb. This powerful attack would allow Goku to gather energy from all living things and combine it into one massive attack. However, gathering the energy would take time, and Goku needed a way to keep Frieza distracted. As Goku began gathering energy for the Spirit Bomb, Piccolo, now slightly recovered from his injuries, stepped in to help. Despite still being weakened, Piccolo attacked Frieza, using his speed and cunning to buy Goku the time he needed to complete the Spirit Bomb. Frieza, irritated by Piccolo's interference, turned his attention away from Goku. As Piccolo fought bravely, Goku focused on gathering energy from the planet, the stars, and the universe itself. Part 63. The Spirit Bomb is launched. After what felt like an eternity, Goku finally gathered enough energy for the Spirit Bomb. The massive ball of energy floated above him, glowing with the power of every living thing that had contributed to it. "This is our last chance," Goku said, looking at his friends. "Everyone, stay back." With all his strength, Goku launched the Spirit Bomb directly at Frieza. The enormous blast hurtled toward the tyrant, who, realizing too late what was happening, tried to block the attack. The energy of the Spirit Bomb overwhelmed Frieza, engulfing him in a blinding explosion of light. For a moment, the entire battlefield was silent. Goku, Gohan, Krillin, and Piccolo watched anxiously, hoping that the Spirit Bomb had been enough to defeat Frieza. Part 64. Frieza's Survival. As the dust cleared, the Z-fighters breathed a sigh of relief, believing that Frieza had finally been defeated. Goku, exhausted from the battle, collapsed to the ground, grateful that the nightmare seemed to be over. But their relief was short-lived. Suddenly, Frieza emerged from the rubble, battered but alive. His face twisted in anger. Frieza glared at Goku and his friends. "You dare to challenge me? I'll show you what happens to those who defy me." In a flash, Frieza fired a deadly energy blast at Krillin, lifting him into the air and killing him instantly. Goku, watching in horror as his friend was mercilessly killed, felt a surge of rage like he had never felt before. "You monster!" Goku shouted, his anger reaching its breaking point. Part 65. The legendary Super Saiyan is born. Frieza's cold-blooded murder of Krillin was the final trigger. Goku's body began to shake with uncontrollable rage, and his energy skyrocketed. His hair flashed gold, and his eyes turned a piercing green. Goku, overwhelmed by his fury, had finally unlocked the legendary power of the Super Saiyan. Frieza, sensing the immense energy coming from Goku, took a step back in disbelief. What are you?" Goku, his voice calm but filled with righteous fury, responded, "I am the Super Saiyan, the warrior you feared in your darkest nightmares." With his new power, Goku had transcended to a level beyond anything Frieza had ever encountered. The battle between Super Saiyan Goku and Frieza was about to begin, and the fate of planet Namek and the entire universe hung in the balance. Part 66, Super Saiyan Goku vs. Frieza. With his transformation into a Super Saiyan, Goku had reached a level of power that Frieza had never imagined. The golden aura surrounding Goku surged with intensity, and the ground beneath him trembled under the weight of his energy. Frieza, for the first time in his life, felt true fear. This can't be," Frieza stammered, his voice wavering. "The Super Saiyan is nothing but a myth." Goku, now calm and focused, glared at Frieza with piercing green eyes. "You killed Krillin. You won't get away with this, Frieza." The two warriors charged at each other, and the final battle for planet Namek began in earnest. Goku's speed and power were now far beyond anything Frieza could have anticipated. Every punch, every kick from Goku sent shockwaves through the planet, and Frieza struggled to keep up. Part 67, Frieza's Desperation. As the battle raged on, it became clear that Goku had the upper hand. Frieza, despite being in his final form, was no match for the overwhelming power of a Super Saiyan. Every attack Frieza launched was countered effortlessly by Goku, and the Saiyan warrior's calm, controlled demeanor only fueled Frieza's rage. Desperate to win, Frieza began using underhanded tactics. He fired energy blasts at Gohan, Piccolo, and Goku's allies, hoping to distract Goku and force him to lower his guard. But Goku, now fully embracing the power of the Super Saiyan, deflected every attack with ease. Frustrated and humiliated, Frieza decided to take the ultimate gamble. He flew high into the sky and unleashed a devastating energy blast aimed at the core of planet Namek. "If I can't defeat you, then I'll destroy this entire planet," Frieza shouted. "Let's see you escape this, Super Saiyan." The energy blast burrowed deep into Namek's core, destabilizing the planet. Goku watched in horror as the ground beneath him began to shake and crack. Frieza had triggered a chain reaction that would cause the planet to explode in just 5 minutes. Part 68, The Countdown to Namek's Destruction. With planet Namek's destruction imminent, Goku knew he had only a short amount of time to end the battle and escape. But despite the planet's impending doom, Goku refused to leave without giving Frieza one last chance to surrender. "You don't have to die here, Frieza," Goku said, his voice steady. "There's still time. Leave now, and I'll let you go." Frieza, his pride wounded, refused to back down. "I'll never lose to a Saiyan. I'll destroy you, Goku, even if it means taking this whole planet with me." Goku, seeing that Frieza was beyond redemption, knew what he had to do. The Super Saiyan raised his energy to its peak, preparing to finish the battle once and for all. Part 69, Frieza's Last Stand. With the clock ticking down, Frieza launched a final desperate assault on Goku. He unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, hoping to overwhelm the Super Saiyan with sheer force. But Goku, now fully in control of his power, effortlessly dodged and deflected each attack. Realizing that he could not win through brute strength alone, Frieza attempted to use his speed to catch Goku off guard. However, Goku's reflexes were now far beyond anything Frieza could match. In one swift move, Goku delivered a devastating punch to Frieza, sending him crashing into the ground. Frieza, battered and broken, lay in the rubble, struggling to stand. His once mighty power had been completely eclipsed by Goku's transformation, and now, with Namek's destruction imminent, Frieza had no choice but to face the consequences of his actions. Part 70. Goku's Mercy. Though Frieza had caused unimaginable pain and destruction, Goku,